Good morning. I would like to welcome you on behalf of the graduating class of 2019. There are a number of dignitaries here today for NCSSM's 38th commencements whom I would like to briefly introduce. Please hold your applause until all have been recognized. NCSSM Chancellor Todd Roberts. Commencement Speaker Keith Gray. Chair, NCSSM Board of Trustees, Tom Looney. UNC Board of Governors member, C. Philip Byers. Vice Chancellor for Academic Programs, Katie O'Connor. Dean of Science, Amy Scheck. Instructor of Humanities, Kyle Hudson. NCSSM Executive Director Emeritus, John Frederick. Board of Trustees members, Paula Benson. Robert Freeman, Steve Griffin, Hugh Holston, Bobby Maynor, Tom Williams, Foundation Board members, Karen Levert, Division Administrators, Robert Allen, Katie Wagstaff, Legal Counsel, Carrie Johnston, Department Deans, Taylor Gibson, Jamie Lathan, Joe Labuglio, Elizabeth Moose. Program Directors, Robin Boltz, Chrissy Hewitt, Greg Jarvis, Sarah Shoemaker. Faculty Senate President, Cheryl Gann. Staff Senate President, Crystal Woods. Alumni Board President, Stephen Norton. Parent Association Chair, Tina Wang Fulford. And Science Faculty Member, Daryl Spells.
Good morning. I'm Todd Roberts, the Chancellor here at NCSSM, and I'd like to welcome all of our families, friends, faculty and staff, students, members of the Board of Trustees, Board of Governors, Alumni Board, Foundation Board, Parent Association, Dr. Gray, our honored guests, and most importantly, the members of the class of 2019. Before we continue, I'd like to take just a moment to recognize all the members of our facilities team here at NCSSM for transforming this lawn into a beautiful setting for today's commencement. And to all of our, let's give them a hand. And to all of our faculty and staff who've worked so hard to plan today's event, preparing to make today special for all of you is a monumental task, and we thank you so much for your work. Today's going to be a little hot, so I want to let you know that we have stations with cold water around the lawn here, as well as 2 cooling stations up by the Watts porch and over to the left of Reynolds building here, so you can cool down if you're getting a little too warm. Or if you, we also are live streaming this event, and so you can watch it in the auditorium if you are too hot. I'd like to take a moment to thank Dr. Gray for being with us to speak today. For each of our graduates and students here this morning, Dr. Gray's career is one that should inspire each of you as you're about to begin the next chapter in your lives. His is a story of what is possible with hard work, talent, motivation, and a desire to help others, while also understanding the value of working with others. From his childhood in Snow Hill, North Carolina, working summers cropping tobacco, to his time as a student at NCSSM and at Wake Forest University and medical school, to his career as an amazing surgeon and now Chief Medical Officer for the University of Tennessee Medical Center, Dr. Gray's life and career has been one that can be a lesson for all of our graduates and students about what is possible for you. Thank you again, Dr. Gray, for being here with us today. I'm inspired by you and look forward to your remarks. I always enjoy the couple of days leading up to commencement when classes and exams are done and all of our students are enjoying each other's company for the last time for a while. There are lots of fun activities on campus like Air Band, and we get to recognize and honor our seniors for their work over the past 2 years. But my favorite thing about the end of the year is the 2 days prior to commencement where I get to see our students, seniors and juniors, enjoying each other's company relatively stress-free reminiscing about their shared experiences. Students, whether you realize it at this point or not, these experiences and friendships will be ones that you will carry with you for years to come, with many only becoming more meaningful over time. Graduates, today brings a close to this chapter of your NCSSM experience. I think back to the excitement and great pleasure it was for us to welcome you to NCSSM on move-in day, and now, just 2 short years later, it's a great honor to award each of you your diploma today, and it's a bittersweet experience of wishing you well and saying goodbye for now. Parents and families, I know that you're filled with a tremendous sense of pride today, and well, you should be. I want to take this moment to thank you for sharing your children with us for these past 2 years. And graduates, we are all here today with a feeling of great pride. I know our faculty and staff are proud to have had an opportunity to get to know and work with you, and it has been a great honor and pleasure for me. Graduating from high school marks one of the major milestones of your young lives. I hope you have, over the past couple of days, or will over the course of the summer, take a little bit of time to reflect back on your experiences as individuals and as a class. 2 short years ago, you made the decision to attend NCSSM. It was a bold decision and sort of a risk of sorts. Each of you knew great success, yet chose to accept the challenge of the unknown, to accept the greater challenge as a member of the class of 2019, 360 strong from 74 different counties across North Carolina. Most of you knew very few of your classmates at that time, and here we are today, and think of all you've done, the friends you've made, all you've accomplished, and how you have grown as individuals and as a class. Today is a time to celebrate your achievements and accomplishments thus far. Whether the accomplishments were in the classroom, in academic competitions, in research, in athletics, the arts, or in serving the community and helping others, the class of 2019 has accomplished much. You've taken home honors at major academic competitions, so many, in fact, that it took us 140 slides to cover them at the awards ceremony earlier this week. You've had outstanding performances in the pool and on the field and on the courts, including a state championship in men's swimming, 9 conference champions, 99 all-conference athletes, and our first ever undefeated regular seasons in women's basketball and baseball. More than 75% of this class participated in a variety of research experiences on and off campus, as exampled in our 34th annual Student Research Symposium, where 120 students presented their work, or through our two fantastic student-produced research journals, Broad Street Scientific and Fifth World. And families, if you haven't seen a copy of those 2 journals, I would encourage you to check it out because it's fantastic work in there. You've put on amazing musical, drama, and dance performances on our stage, and displays of your fantastic art has been a joy for all of us to see all across campus and in the Blue Mirror. And less formally, your artistic talents and creativity were on display in our cultural fests, Air Band, and at Coffee House. You've given back to your community. This class has done more than 26,000 hours of community service, to both in the Durham community and throughout North Carolina. Thank you. And impressively, your talent and hard work has earned the class of 2019 more than $14 million in college scholarship offers. Congratulations. And this is certainly not an exhaustive list of all you've achieved, because while accomplishments are often recognized with awards, it's not those things that you will take with you wherever you go. It is your experiences and those things you have learned and how they have helped shape you, who you are, and that is what you will carry with you to the many new places you'll go. Last week, I was talking with some seniors and was asked the question, what would I remember about this class? They asked if my memories would be defined by a few things that were disheartening or the many things that we have to celebrate. My answer was, I will remember the many wonderful things that you all did, large and small, for each other and our community. The many examples where you have challenged yourselves to be your best while also challenging the NCSSM community and the larger community to be better, and working to help make it so. So many in this class have shown such tremendous leadership in so many different ways. You have actively worked to make the NCSSM community a better place through your work on mental health and wellness and campus culture, climate, and diversity. Your class and your junior classmates have shown such leadership in addressing these two areas identified in our strategic plan as crucial for our community and for helping prepare you for life after NCSSM. Through your efforts and those of future classes, I hope that NCSSM can serve as a model for a community that promotes health and wellness, embraces and grows through our diversity. I hope that you will continue to push your future communities to address these needs as well. You've continued the work of making our community more sustainable, and you've worked to amplify youth voices and encouraging youth to vote. You've taken on projects like turning an old bike shed into a student gathering space to make our campus better for future generations of students, even though you yourselves would not really get to benefit from your work. You've been involved in the most two formative years of the planning for our new campus in Morganton, and you've been here when we received the single largest philanthropic gift in the school's history from alumnus Carl Rydeen and his wife Ashley to start the Rydeen Program for Leadership and Innovation in Artificial Intelligence. You've been a part of and as active in as many important projects and events over your 2 years as probably any group of students at NCSSM ever. So what will I remember? I will remember what you have done for each other, for our community, and those that will follow you. Those things, large and small, these are the things that I will remember. You have, as an old proverb states, planted trees under whose shade you do not expect to sit. Thank you. I will remember the class of 2019 with great appreciation. Each graduate here today owes a great deal not only to your classmates, but to the many others who are here with you celebrating your accomplishment. I'd like to take a moment to recognize those who've helped you along the way. To the parents and guardians and family members and friends who've nurtured and supported these graduates, thank you for the love and support that you've shown them. I know it's not easy to let your son or daughter leave home to go to school, in some cases several hours away, but I know you are so very proud of them today. To the teachers, counselors, administrators, and staff who've contributed in so many ways to the success of each graduate here today, thank you for your work and caring. Along with the students' support of one another, it is your talents, your mentorship, your hard work, and your support and caring that helps create a living and learning community where our students can grow and thrive. And finally, I want to take this opportunity to recognize members of the NCSSM faculty and staff who are retiring this year. These individuals have been so important to NCSSM for many years. They have given collectively more than a century of service to NCSSM. Please join me in thanking and congratulating Noreen Naiman, Philip Riggs, Katie Wagstaff, Lester Alston, Terry Brown, Nelson Butts, and Betty Easter. I want to thank them all for what they've done to help shape NCSSM and positively influence the lives of so many over the years. You'll be greatly missed. Again, I want to welcome you all this morning as we celebrate the amazing graduates of the class of 2019, including all of our family and friends from across the country and world watching on our live stream feed. Today is a great day. Thank you for being here. At this time, I would like to welcome to the podium Board of Governor members Philip Byers to bring greetings from the UNC Board of Governors and to recognize NCSSM's recipient of the Board of Governors Award for Excellence in Teaching. Thank you so much, Mr. Byers, for being with us here today.
Thank you, Chancellor, and if I could have a couple points of personal privilege. This is not going to mean a lot to you, but the folks behind me and those flanking me who are older than you are. Last time I saw this many fans was when I was a child and my great aunt Essie died, and back then in the mountains where I came from, you didn't have air conditioning. So her funeral was in July, and since the church didn't have air conditioning, the funeral homes handed out fans. That's funny. Somebody like y'all act like you're too young to remember that, and I don't think so. It is an honor for me to be with you today. I will get to my notes. I noticed they're in 10 font, and I read at about 25. So this is going to be pretty laborious. But congratulations on the championships and the athletics. That has been a big part of my life, and I too enjoy conference championships. but I got mine when y'all were before y'all were even born, so I'll get off the age thing. But indeed, it's my honor, and I would ask that someone make a picture and send it to me so I can share it with my 85-year-old mother, who will never believe I'm with this distinguished of a group of graduates and this distinguished of a group of professors and teachers and staff from this great school. Thank you and good morning. Today I bring greetings from the UNC Board of Governors, the governing body of the University of North Carolina System, and from Dr. William Roper, our interim system president. I would also like to congratulate today's graduates and their families and to recognize the dedicated service of the school's distinguished faculty, staff, alumni, Board of Trustees, and of course my dear friend Chancellor Roberts, many of whom are members of the platform party here today. And I would ask that you join me in giving that group and the group that have helped you to this point, as well as your families, a round of applause. It is exciting to acknowledge that this is the North Carolina School of Science and Math's 38th commencement ceremony for graduates of the Durham residential program, which gathers talented students from every corner of North Carolina into this special community of learners. The UNC system also celebrates the statewide impact of North Carolina School of Science and Mathematics online, and we look forward to the opening of NCSSM Morganton, which will induct its first class of juniors in 2021. And that's about 20 minutes from where I grew up in the mountains, so Chancellor, I'm excited and honored that you will be joining us in Morganton. Graduates, congratulations. Today we gather to celebrate you, your accomplishments, and the exciting future each of you is embarking upon. Your experiences during your time at this fine institution will resonate throughout your life. Your education at the North Carolina School of Science and Math has provided knowledge and skills you will need to achieve success in an increasingly complex world. Wherever and whatever your future endeavors may be, we encourage you to stay connected to this once wonderful institution. As we celebrate, it is vital to acknowledge the contributions again of the faculty and staff from NCSSM, especially those teachers who have helped encourage and guided you towards success. There are many outstanding faculty members on this campus. Today I'm here to recognize one of them. It is indeed my privilege to present this year's Board of Governors Award for Excellence in Teaching. This award was established by the Board of Governors in 1994 to underscore the importance of teaching and to reward great teachers across the UNC system. The awards are given annually to a tenured faculty member from each UNC campus. Recipients are nominated by special committees on their home campuses and selected by the Board of Governors Committee on Personnel and Tenure. Each winner receives a bronze medallion and a cash award. Not reward, we'd be looking for them then, I guess. This year's honoree from the School of Science and Math is Mr. Scott Laird. Scott, I would ask that you and Chancellor Roberts please join me. Scott, we celebrate your passion, your intellect, and your all-around devotion to this school and its students. Parents and friends, Mr. Laird is North Carolina School of Science and Math's Fine Arts Coordinator and Instructor of Music. He has been with this faculty for 18 years, teaching orchestra, classical piano, guitar, music history, music production, and numerous other courses. He's led many term courses in sound art, Eastern Regional Orchestra, and independent music and recording projects. Wow. He believes that music and the arts are an essential part of every solid academic program, and involvement in the arts is necessary for the holistic development of every person. Music is math plus human expression, and Mr. Laird believes that involvement in music enhances a student's skills in communication, collaboration, decision-making, critical thinking, and emotional awareness. He employs project-based learning in his classes because he has found that hands-on learning is the most lasting. Mr. Laird uses instructional technology in new ways and innovative ways, leveraging tools like YouTube to show students interesting performances and Pro Tools software to help them record their own compositions. He even hosts a blog that addresses numerous musical and related issues for the orchestra class. He is a well-known conference presenter throughout the United States in the field of string education, stringed instruments, okay, so I told you 10 fonts and I'm in trouble. I need 25. He is well-known conference presenter throughout the United States in the field of string education, presenting on rehearsal strategy, techniques for teaching electric stringed instruments, inspiring students, and many other topics. He is a popular guest conductor invited to lead orchestras across this country, and he has recorded and produced 2 solo CDs, Simple Gifts and Freeway. He serves on the national boards of ASTA and El Sistema, I hope that's right, USA, as well as Creative Strings, LLC. But his presence on campus and in the classroom truly set him apart. He believes his role is to say yes to student requests and to facilitate their creativity in any way possible. Colleagues here attest that he is a national figure in string education, yet he remains available to every student personally. One former student said, "Even though I have been an alumnus of NCSSM for the past 10 years, Mr. Laird's teaching still remains a very large part of my life. I know that many of you graduating here today may look back and be able to say the same 10 years from now." Mr. Laird, thank you for devoting your professional life to these and so many students, and thank you for the example you set for teachers across our state and beyond. Chancellor, would you join over here? This is a check for $250,000 if anybody needs to borrow money or he owes any. I'm teasing. It's probably $2. No, not $250,000. Sir, it is indeed an honor. Congratulations. Thank you for your service to this institution.
Good morning, students, faculty, staff, families, and friends of NCSSM. On behalf of academic programs, I bring congratulations to the class of 2019. Since we have no class rank or valedictorian, our student speaker at commencement is selected from speeches submitted by members of the class. A committee of faculty and staff reviewed all entries to determine which speech most uniquely captured the NCSSM experience. I am pleased to introduce the student speaker for the class of 2019. Our speaker is from Morrisville and attended Enloe High School prior to attending NCSSM. She mentioned that her experience at NCSSM has taught her 3 lessons: to reach out to others for support, to trust her gut, and to be open and willing to learn from failure. She has explored a wide range of opportunities while at NCSSM. She completed her research through mentorship at Duke, participated in Food Arc, and our Make-A-Wish NCSSM club. When we talked about who has made an impact on her tenure at NCSSM, she mentioned Dr. Krupal Amin, a faculty member in our humanities department, for her excellent advice that she gives and her honesty. She appreciates community coordinators Kim Howe and Jewel Dale for their unwavering dedication to students, and wanted to give a shout out to Dr. Sarah Shoemaker, who has taught her a lot and always wants the best for our students. She will continue her remarkable journey at UNC Charlotte, seeking a degree in health systems management. Her parents and her sister are with us today. Please give a warm welcome to your class of 2019 student speaker, Preeti Kandori.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you to the friends, family, faculty, special guests, and administrators here today, and to my fellow graduates of the class of 2019. I'm honored to have been able to spend the last 2 years with such a diverse and talented group of individuals. My admiration for each one of you has grown with each story of determination, resilience, and ambition. My definition of leadership has been sculpted into one of learning, serving, and empathizing. These lessons have made me fall deeper and deeper in love with this institution and the people I was surrounded by. We all came into the school recognizing that this was an opportunity. However, we couldn't have imagined how difficult it would be. To live with expectations that seem unattainable, rejections that seem permanent, and responsibilities to others that we didn't feel like we were fulfilling. These obstacles reveal how strong we are. We did not give up. We reached out to each other, empathized with each other's backgrounds and struggles, and received a glimpse of the lives of other driven students from all over the state. We had 3-hour conversations with teachers who truly care about our futures and provide compassionate advice. From the mountains in the west to the beaches in the east, our stories have converged here and blossomed into a narrative that we should all be proud of. Throughout the stresses of high school, we have come to appreciate collaboration over competition and prioritize the beauty of pure learning, the wonderful opportunity of being able to just learn about all the things we don't know, and the opportunity to appreciate the differences and understand the connections between us. Here, we were not only challenged intellectually, but also emotionally, to think better and see more than what initially meets the eye. We were pushed to see the bigger picture, and I'm sure that our achievement lies not in what college we attend or what awards we accumulate, but rather the lessons we learn and the potential we develop to make a difference and gain a deeper sense of responsibility to serve our community. Next year, when we may not be next door to the friends who help us through physics labs, rejections, or mental breakdowns, I hope we continue to appreciate the distinct way each of us views life and reach out to this network during hard times. I hope we continue to trust our instincts and take the path that we believe is right, even if it is unusual. I hope we can hold on to our childlike self and wholeheartedly believe that we can achieve everything we imagine. The only difference between then and now is that we are now embarking on a journey to attain the tools to make those dreams possible. I hope we make difficult decisions and grow as leaders in the professions we choose to transform our passions and talents into solutions for the imminent issues our society faces today. NCSSM has introduced us to each other, to students of drastically different backgrounds, and encouraged us to work together. I hope we continue to take this interdisciplinary approach to solve meaningful problems. In our class, I see doctors who will be empathetic and treat one's life as their own when they're given the task to do so. Teachers that are driven to impart their knowledge to the next generation and raise an informed generation. Scientists who will propose solutions for the climate crisis, engineers who will design products and processes that are sustainable, politicians who are aware of the nation's issues and its stands in a global perspective, and most importantly, engaged citizens who will use their expertise for policy change. Today, we can no longer ignore the problems our society faces because those problems demand our attention. However, as a class of 2019, we can stand strong and united, providing our unique perspectives to the collective effort to help others. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Rakim Yakubu. It's been a true honor this year to serve as this year's student body president. These past 2 years have been among the most challenging and stressful years of my life, but they have also yielded the most memories and my deepest friendships. After today, I know many of the graduates and myself can join me in saying that we're going to miss the nights on hall with our friends, the conversations in the hallway with our favorite teacher, or saying we're going to go in the library, but no, we're just going to start messing around anyways. Today we're going to hear from Dr. Keith Gray from NTSM's class of 1990. When student government was working with Dr. Roberts and researching potential graduation speakers, Dr. Gray's story really popped out. At the time, he was just named the new Chief Medical Officer of University of Tennessee Medical Center. And as a student who is interested in healthcare, I decided to research him even further. That is when I discovered his interview on the show, Anything is Possible, which I encourage you to view after this commencement ceremony. Hear him talk about his journey from cropping tobacco in Snow Hill, North Carolina, and finding out for the first time in his freshman year that he wants to become a surgeon. And then telling his mom immediately after that he wants to be a surgeon, to which she looked at him and said, "How about Surgeon General?" From that point on, the amount of dedication and passion Dr. Gray had was truly inspiring, and it was able to take him from Snow Hill to NTSM, to Wake Forest on a full scholarship, to Wake Med, then to a residency position at Vanderbilt University. It was truly amazing to hear his story and the steps on his journey that took him to the spot he is at today. It was especially nice to hear him speak about how vital the step of coming to NCSM was on his journey, and gives me some assurance that after hearing him speak today, we'll be able to gain some valuable insight and guidance as we move into the future. So without further ado, please join me in welcoming Dr. Keith Gray.
Good morning. Man, these guys really know how to set a brother up, I tell you. First of all, I am honored to be here. So many things, so many names have changed over the last 29 years, but so many things are still the same. I want to give honor to Chancellor Roberts for the invitation and to other members of the platform. My family, my parents are here just like they've always been for the last 47 years. My cousin, my 5 children, and my wife, my better half. To Brian Faircloth for that wonderful piece that you put together. I saw him here just a few minutes ago, but he's moving around and working. Very inspiring. To the class of 2019, well done. I'm honored that you have invited me here and think that I can provide motivation as you move on. As Mr. Yakubu said, perhaps I'm here today because I was recently promoted, or because of the unique journey from Snow Hill to the surgical suite, from cropping tobacco leaves to removing tumors. Praiseworthy maybe, but certainly not unexpected. From academics to athletics, the North Carolina School of Science and Mathematics has an attitude of excellence that we grow to expect from ourselves, our classmates, and our alums, and that often supersedes the expectation of others. It's a place that equips us for greatness, and perhaps better than any other school in North Carolina, propels us into a future that's timeless and limitless. But science and math is more than just a rigorous academic institution. For the past 2 years, this has been your home, and the people sitting around you have grown to become your family. My best friends from the class of 1990 are successful. They're lawyers, doctors, judges, journalists. But when we get together, and we don't get together often, we never talk about those accolades, just our families, and our yearning for a repeat experience that will rival our 2 years here together. Intermittently during the conversation, it still feels like we're in Durham. One of my most memorable moments here, and Mr. Frederick, or Dr. Frederick may be the only one that remembers this, was being the first unicorn basketball player to get a slam dunk in that gym over there. That's not to say that visiting players didn't dunk on us. James Trigger Terrell from Lewisburg is one that frequently comes to mind. But as I recall, I was the first in this school's history. The gym opened during the 1989-1990 season, and now late in the season, plastered on the northwest gym wall was a sign overhanging the rowdiest of supporters that read, "We want to dunk." We had posted a respectable record to date, and although I don't recall the opponent, we opened that particular game with a feverish pace. Mark Williford, Andy Taylor, Marcus Lowry, Michael Armstrong, and I executed the plans of Coach Bostic to perfection and built a big early lead. I recall experiencing fourth quarter type fatigue early on, but dared not signal to come out because as a team, we were in the zone. Then it happened. Michael Armstrong quickly intercepted an inbound pass from the opposition and turned to locate the whereabouts of his offensive reinforcements. Without hesitation, he hit me in the chest with a crisp chest pass, and off I went like a streaking wide receiver behind a confused secondary defense. With Jordan-esque flair, at least in my head, maybe not in Dr. Frederick's head, with Zion-like elevation, I went in for an uncontended two-handed jam from the front of the rim. I immediately turned and saw my dad. He was streaking down the bleachers to be the first to congratulate me. That'd be a technical foul today, probably. And then I saw the sign come down. The rowdies went berserk. Mike and I and others had practiced dunking so many times on fresh legs, on fatigued legs, because we never knew when the opportunity would come, but we knew that it would. Although I had dreamed of that moment my entire basketball career and continue to tell the story to this day, probably more often than my kids want to hear, what stands out most in my mind is Mike's willingness to pass the ball and make my dream come true. You see, Mike was more than capable of taking it strong to the hole, and he was well acclimated to the thin air above the rim. He was that guy. He was our soccer goalie. He was a 300-meter hurdler. He was the anchor for our 4x400-meter relay. He was an eventual Moorhead Scholar. He was a football walk-on at UNC and now is an OBGYN. Maybe the greatest all-around that I've ever known. Yet, he chose the pass. That's what makes him, that's what makes this place, and that's what can make you so very special. Class of 2019, you will succeed and likely reach your most wildly important goals. You may be the best all-around class this school has ever finished. You have the innate gifts, the talents, and you will undoubtedly continue to hone your skills wherever you end up. Others will support you because of your charisma, your humility, your integrity, and your vision. You will lead teams, and you will get buy-in when others can't and won't. Your success will open doors that others cannot access. All along the way, maybe more often than not, when you have the opportunity to break away, choose the pass over the shot. Be instrumental in making someone else's dreams come true and tearing down obstacles that interfere with their destiny. Leverage your influence and your affluence to promote self-confidence, fight injustice, and eliminate inequities in this world. Before coming here, I wanted to be a lifelong student of the human body, and I quickly realized from the tobacco fields and the ball fields of eastern North Carolina that my gift was excellent dexterity and hand-eye coordination. I shared, as you heard before, with my parents that I wanted to be a surgeon. They didn't know any, and I didn't either. But they enthusiastically encouraged me to shoot to be Surgeon General, not just a surgeon. They had grown up in poor rural communities where suboptimal health outcomes abounded, especially in my own family. They envisioned me taking on the mission of health advocacy for our region and others like it, not simply just earning a medical degree. It was easy to buy into their dream for me and the hope for our family and friends, and I began dreaming at that time of a time when people have equal opportunity to live a healthy life. I know now that dark skin doesn't portend poor health, but social factors do. I believe everyone deserves a safe place to exercise and adequate education, exposure to healthy foods, and easy access to health care from trusted providers who explain things in ways that they can understand. These barriers and others exist in some of Knoxville's urban and rural areas, just as they do here in North Carolina. In my role as the new Chief Medical Officer, among my earliest goals is to improve health literacy and access in the most disparate areas in my community, and leverage my position to form strategic partnerships that address the other social determinants that negatively impact health outcomes. Unlike my path to the rim in that basketball moment 29 years ago, your road to success will not be as clear. Your journey at times will be, or at least seem, meandrous. You'll climb uphill, and fear and self-doubt will inevitably creep in. You may have to drop organic chemistry after bombing that first test. Question your sanity after 100-hour work weeks in residency, or give up a passion for running to repeated injury 25 years after you discovered your love for it around Duke's East Campus. Early in my career, these and other trials were disheartening. The effort required to push through was familiar, but the uphill climb was exhausting. I remember wishing I could just run downhill for a while. Now, as an older man, I've learned to not only expect obstacles, but to embrace them as opportunities. Repeating organic chemistry built perseverance and quickly squashed my pride. Long work weeks taught me endurance and how to perform under pressure. I can't run anymore, but walking doesn't hurt as much as running. And I see things and I talk to people that I completely overlooked before. These experiences, once seen as obstacles, have taught me that everything worthwhile is uphill. Everything God has for you is on the other side of fear, and the greatest leaps forward follow failure. Although I don't live a life of regrets, I sometimes relish the opportunity to sit on this lawn again. If I had a do-over, I wouldn't chase titles and I wouldn't chase positions. Sure, leadership is in our DNA, and titles or initials are often synonymous with success in these times. But position or title is the lowest level of leadership. People often follow you because they have to, not because they want to. We should all strive here at the School of Science and Mathematics, we should all strive here at the School of Science and Mathematics for servant leadership, which is characterized by people following you because of who you are and what you represent, and for what you have done for them. Find a gap in your area of influence and fill it up. Don't be tempted to add to the redundancy of the world with senseless rhetoric. Don't add insignificant contributions to the literature to climb academic ladders. And don't participate in compassionless community service projects just to self-promote. I took my last major test in 2005. When I walked out of that surgery board exam room, I knew I had passed. And I was proud that I had finished that part of the race with no gap years along the way. Great sadness, though, immediately replaced my joy as I awaited my taxi, not an Uber, taxi on that Southern California sidewalk. I was lonely. I was really lonely. I immediately regretted not getting to know my med school classmates better. Brianna, I know you're out there. Or the spouses and kids of my co-residents at Vanderbilt. If I could sit in your chair again, I would make more friends, especially after leaving this campus. I would unplug more, or at least ignore my emails, the ding of that text, or the vibration of that call in order to search for a common bond that we can share with everyone that we meet if we're willing to talk to each other long enough. I would smile more. I would laugh more. I'm talking about deep belly laughs, the ones that make people stop and stare and whisper impolitely. I would take better care of myself. I would de-stress. At times, walk even a little slower than my surgically repaired Achilles and meniscus forced me to do now. Class of 2019, you are God's masterpieces. One of a kind, originals, unlike any other unicorn that has ever walked these halls or has been in those chairs. Relish that and do it your own way. He created each of you with a unique combination of gifts and talents and passion to serve those around you and lift up those whose reach is too short. The work is set for you, but it's going to be hard. But you have the support of all of those gathered here today, and you don't have to accomplish it by age 20, or even by age 50, and even by age 70. Finally, I want to give you one last assignment, one that you may not appreciate today, but that you will in the coming years. I want to ask you to write down the fun things you like to do on the left-hand side of one page, and on the right side, how frequently you want to do them. I want you to email it or text it to a best friend you have in this class, and I want them to hold you accountable. I want you to take time to love a little more. I want you to take time to laugh a little more. I want you to take time to eat well. I want you to live large. Congratulations, class of 2019, and thank you for inviting me back home.
Fantastic. Dr. Gray, thank you so much for your words and your inspiration and for being with us here as our commencement speaker for the class of 2019. We'd like to give you a gift, and this is an original print of the school from our original art teacher, Joe Lyles. And so hopefully you'll put this on your wall and think fondly when you see it of your time at NCSSM. Thank you for being here today.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Chairman Looney, I present to you the class of 2019. Awarding their diplomas signifies that they have completed all requirements for graduation as set forth by the NCSSM Board of Trustees. Will the graduating class please rise?
Chancellor Roberts, on behalf of the Board of Trustees and this school, which serves the people of North Carolina, I accept your recommendation and authorize the presentation of these diplomas.
Okay, seniors, please be seated. And as we would like to appropriately and respectfully honor all of these extraordinary graduates as they accept their diplomas, if you would, please hold your applause and any individual display of support, however unique and exuberant, until the last diploma has been presented. Thank you very much.
Kennedy David Adams. Emma Grace Alexander Eitzman. Ihab Alosani. Jordan Selena Deanna Allen. Marco Enrico Allen. Vanessa May Almalor. Ethan Thomas Amick. Kanmani Narendra Arcot. Elias Arroyo. Rami Mason Asa. Lance Anthony Gira Bacudio. Darren J. Sarlos Baker. Francesca Alyssa Ballesteri. Jack Emerson Ballard. Layla Janan Barnes. Diego S. Barrientos. Grace Marie Bassett. Faith Louise Baxley. Nicholas Alexander Beard. Gavin Courtney Bell. Daniel Vance Bennett. Cedric Rochard Beulah, Jr. Vittal Bott. Jefferson DeGrove Bishop. Hadley Jillian Blaylock. Cecilia Ruth Bakovin. Benjamin Burrows Bomsey. Zachary Thomas Bolton. Andrew Tucker Bounds. Powell Elizabeth Braddock. Joseph Spencer Brenchens. Caroline Kate Bruton. Max Bryant Brinker. Christopher Bernard Brooks. Cora Eleanor Brown. Hunter Caleb Brown. Tamia Sharice Brown. Alexander George Bryan. Jonathan Michael Buck. Garrison Wallace Bullard. Manasi Surya Bulusu. Landon Garrett Burt. Victor Anthony Carbone. Daniel Christopher Carter. Jonathan Lawrence Carter. Ryan William Cato. Okay. Grace Elizabeth Chanel. Emil Leo Charles. Alex Ryan Sini. Malachi James Clark. Shalom Nolani Cobb. Allison Eden Cody. Ernest Terrell Collins, Jr. Landon Scott Colville. Oliver Jordan Cope. Jason Neal Corbett. Ramon Elizabeth Council. Hannah Ray Cruz. Virginia Louise Cummins. Luke Joseph Cunningham. Emmeline Cameron Daggett. Michelle Dye. Alex Michael Daston. Kyla Alexandria Davis. Alexandria Lynn Delatorre. Ishani Hiran Deliwala. Tyler Avery Dennis. Finn Densmore. Rhea Stephanie Desai. Annabelle Rose DeLustro. Mintu Lei Din. Jackson Douglas Dowden. Christine Carolina Drake. Luke Dwan. Emily Dale Duckworth. Edric Eagle Un. Angus William Ewington. Jack Jiguo Fan. Edward Hausen Feng. Samuel Alexander Ferguson. Annika Genevieve Foray. Nicole Anibeza Fotacheng. Ethan Joseph Fry. Andrew Fu. Hannah Wangmei Fulford. Jeffrey Peter Filak. Nikhil Varma Gedaraju. Anna Catherine Geib. Spencer Michael Guideman. Bethel Ararsa Getachew. Jared Jamad Gibson. Rebecca Nicole Glover. Albert Wen Gong. Catherine Deborah Goodman. Rachita Gaudu. Gage Holden Graybert. Kimiko Xavier Griffin. Francis Michael Favorito Guevara. Abhijit Vijay Gupta. Kathleen Ray Hablitzel. Ahmad Demetrius Hall. Mary Catherine Hall. Annika Eiley Happer. Anirudh Hari. Joseph William Harris. Nathan Noble Harrison. Zoe Isabella Hatsios. Chloe Elizabeth Hawes. James Jonathan Healy. Haley Elizabeth Heath. Joshua David Heath. George Edward Heidkamp. Jonathan Gregory Hines. Jacob Edward Heiser. Claire Elizabeth Hendricks. Grayson James Herrera. Greta Smeeds Hesmer. Eric Thomas Hess. Marcus Colby Hill. Max Emmanuel Hirsch. Deja Avia Holliday. Emma Kathleen Holmes. Erica Christine Horton. Hope Caroline Hosford. Bryant H. Ho. Matthew John Hauk. Brian Christopher Houston. Yijian Jenny Huang. Isabel Ainoa Huesa. Dustin Thomas Humphreys. Joshua Andrew Hunt. Shannon Jamisa Hunter. Zachary Williams Saunders Hunter. Allison Michelle Hyde. Joshua Alexander Hyman. Jack Kevin Isles. Sophia Bellarose Israel. Evan Micah Izo. Navami Jane. Darren Lewis Jans. Sarah Elizabeth Gerald. Howard Hun Jiang. Leonel Rangel Jimenez. Tuva Eliza Just. Brandon Michael Kaminsky. Emily Ann Kong. Akash Reddy Kari. Matthew Allen Kathman. Angelina Miranda Katsanis. Catherine Elizabeth Kaufman. Aidan Whitty Keaveney. Caleb Whitty Keaveney. Noah David Keller. Joseph Ihyun Kim. Joseph Youngmin Kim. Elizabeth Grace Kinsey. John Allen Carolus. Taylor Ann Knapp. Kyle Scott Kesters. Preeti Kunduri. Samuel J. Corzelius. Austin Thomas Crum. Sydney Grace Kaczynski. Anna Grace Kuzma. Daniel Scanlon Lafata. Robert Morris Landry. Mason McPhail Laney. Jack Raymond Lenoir. Catherine Farina Lawrence. William Edward Leary III. Aaron David Lee. Cameron Bryce Lee. Jason Munyang Lee. Han Jung Lim. Daniel Lee. Michael Chen Lee. Brian Lin. Matthew Dale Lin. Tina Lin. Andy Tianyu Liu. Christina Liu. Cindy Xianran Liu. Joseph Todd Londorf. Jorge Lopez Nava. Rachel Elizabeth Lopez. William Otten Lunsford.
Joshua Charles McGill. Lindsay Pearl Mancini. Amrita Susan Mani. Tessa K. Manel. Anisha Manocha. Christian Cade Martins. Noelia Martinez. Luke Michael Marushak. John Walter Mason. Hannah Reese Matthews. Isaiah Alexander Maccabee. Kels Aaron Macadon. Sarah Tillman McClellan. Ashton Michael McCool. Alexander Scott McAvoy. Jack Christopher McGrath. Sarah Elizabeth McLaurin. Lamar Asim McNeil. Ellie McTaggart. Marley Kristen Meadows. Ryan Mehta. Haley Elizabeth Melanis. Brooke Lynn Marie Mercado. Jack Michael McLawsick. Julia Maureen Milkins, Corinne Ilsa Miller, Cameron Myers Milne, Mason Davis Mitchell, Roger Allen Mumaw, Nicholas Allen Mickey, Niall Patrick Moncrief Mullane, Weston Lee Murdoch, Suho Samuel Myung, Marcus Andrew Nakchu, Leslie Faye Neal, Kathy Wynn, Lillian Frances Wynn, Mary Catherine Nichols, Rachel Elise Namira, Rebecca Elizabeth Nixon, Lydia Ann Nussbaum, Jennifer Elizabeth O'Neill, Brooke Elizabeth Oberbeck, Beldina Wera Orinda, Nathan Christopher Ostrowski, Jacob Frank Audi, Junyi O, Chase Alexander Overpeck, Batu Palandus, Andrew James Paris, Grishma J. Patel, Kirti Jatin Patel, Mikhail Amit Patel, Rushil Kumar Patel, Arushi Vishal Patil, Rishab Siam Patil, Rachel Lynn Patterson, Mihir Patwarden, Maya Nicole Payne Weens, David Neil Pendleton, Pierre Nicholas Perrin, Trevor Samuel Farr, Abigail Thompson Phillips, Cassandra Noella Jean Phoenix, Caleb Alonzo Piggies, Jordan Lee Pilcher, Charles J. Pitts, Lucas James Pollard, Kennedy Lee Poplar, River Ashley Price, Brenda Raghavendra, Aryan Akhilesh Rai, Davin Raphael Ramani, Georgiana Truelove Randall, Morgan Walker Ray, Elizabeth Ann Redding, Emma Luciana Reinhardt, Noelle Faith Robinson, Hyunmo Ryang. Mansi Nashitkumar Sakarvadia. Thomas Joseph Samojedny Jr. Arthur Lane Schell. Jonathan Schneider. Elliot Breck Schultz. Elizabeth Christine Seagroves. Eden Sina Kokwi Segbefia. Nicholas Serrano. Sahil Sethi. Beatrice Claire Sewell. Samantha Jewel Shepard. Emma Elizabeth Schultz. Lauren Melissa Seidlinger. Dylan Lee Silkstone. Victoria Elizabeth Simmons. David Keith Snyder II. Kayla J. Spells. Alexander Hyatt Sprague. Michael Adam Steed. Jesse James Byron Steele. Hannah Mae Stella. Silas Imamachukwu Stephen. Melanie N. Sue. Mona Jinue Su. Ju Wan Suk. Samantha Nicole Sutton. Valerie Marie Swart. Abigail Frances Schweitzer. Ashley Nicole Talton. Hannah Antia Tawasha. Maria Tauheed. Cameron Harris Taylor. Cameron Keith Terry. Seth Holland Thomas. James Elliott Thompson. Sylvia K. Towie. Helen Carolina Tran. Jason New Tran. Madhavi Tricka. Michelle Tung. Nathaniel Isaac Una. Maximilian Aaron Ungert. Davis Maxwell Upchurch. Sai Anjali Varanasi. Philip Martin Veely. Arushi Venkatakrishnan. Alexander Curtis Vierling. Javier Villalpando Hernandez. Jeffrey John Vincent. Lydia Isabel Walker. Anna Walter. Alan Ife Wong. Annie Nianhui Wong. Emily Jamie Wong. Kelly Cupping Wong. Jordan Marie Watts. Rebecca Emerson Wells. Zoe West. Tabor Reese White. Alyana Ambito Wilson. Jessica Grace Witcher. Jennifer Carol Wolf. Oscar Christian Wolf. Alexia Leanne Woodward. Jessica Jiashi Wu. Megan Anlan Wu. Xintong Shang. Michelle Sarah Shu. Abdul Rakim Noel Yakubu. Dylan Yang. Jason Yang. Thomas Hautze Yang. Anna Gail Yokote. Cecilia Yu. Amzi Dolores Yurko. Emma Cao Zhang. Rona Zhang. Franklin Yunshang Zheng. Alex Zelong Chuang. Xiaoming George Chuang. Congratulations.
Congratulations again to the class of 2019. I want to again thank Dr. Gray and Mr. Byers and families and friends of our graduates, faculty and staff, members of our Board of Trustees, Foundation Board, Alumni Board, and our Parent Association for being here today to honor this year's graduating class. Well, class of 2019, it's about that time to leave Watts Lawn for the first time as alumni of the North Carolina School of Science and Mathematics. I hope that as you go forward throughout the years to come, you'll remember the opportunity given to you these past 2 years by this great state and through the philanthropic support of the many alumni who've come before you. Remember your responsibility as have the members of 37 classes before you to ensure that future generations of North Carolinians have the same or even greater opportunities than you've had. When people ask me what's special about NCSSM, one of the things I always mention is the campus community. The NCSSM community is a place you each help to create, a place where you feel you belong, a place where you make others feel they belong, and a place where you make each other better than you might have been on your own. So when I reflect back on the class of 2019, it will be about each of you and the many, many things you did day in and day out that I believe truly define this community, your community. You are all leaders, and I encourage you to always remember what you can do, not only for yourself, but for your community. I love a quote from a teenager, Anne Frank, who was just a little younger than you when she wrote, "Look at how a single candle can both defy and define the darkness." We have been fortunate to have had the light of so many very bright candles in the class of 2019 who've helped define what it means to serve your classmates and your community with great character, passion, and commitment to what's right, not only for self, but for others. I will miss you, our community will miss you, but I'm heartened to know that your light will brighten so many more communities in the years to come, and for that, I am truly grateful. Congratulations again. I wish you all the best in the years to come. Go Unis! If everyone would please rise now and join the orchestra and chorale in singing the NCSSM alma mater, which can be found on the back of your program.
Why didn't he leave the words up on the thing for us? All right, just act like you love his roots.
I want to remind everyone that you are invited to the commencement reception hosted by the NCSSM Parents Association and the families of our junior students. It's on Bryan Lawn, just that way. So let's all please stand to honor our new graduates of the North Carolina School of Science and Mathematics, the class of 2019, as they recess.